Every rideshare hack you've ever learned has an expiration date. Not some of them, but all of them. That trick that made you $40 a night 6 months ago, well, it's probably already dead and Uber never sent you a memo. It's just quietly stopped working and you spent the next 3 weeks blaming a slow market instead of the real reason. Well, the algorithm learned you. Not drivers in general, but you specifically. Your braking, your acceptance pattern, and your exact spot on the map at 11 p.m. on a Thursday night. It's been watching and it doesn't forget. And once it knows your pattern, whatever hack you're running on that platform stops being a secret. And that's what we're breaking down right now. Now, rewind a couple years and dispatch ran on pure proximity. Closest driver to the ping got the ping. First come, first served. One offer at a time. And that's exactly why cherry picking worked so cleanly back then. You parked in a hot spot, you let the trash offers roll by, and the app had nothing else to hold against you in real time. That system is gone. Uber says themselves, they used to match by asking who's closest, but they learned that closest doesn't always mean quickest. So now the app holds your request for a few seconds, batches it with everyone else nearby, and works out a better pairing instead of just grabbing whoever's parked closer. But that batching is only half of it. There's a deeper layer running underneath it, one that's actually reading your driving history to make that call, and that is what we need to break down. And here's what's actually making that call. Uber's own engineering team put this in writing on their own blog. The ride matching algorithm runs a reinforcement learning system that builds a value function out of the real driver trip history, which is completed rides, idle stretches, where you sat and for how long, and what happened after. But it also tracks what Uber calls driver states, your location, the time, and whether you're moving or sitting idle. And it learns which one of those states leads to a good outcome and which one leads to a dead end. And that value function isn't some side experiment. Uber flat out says that they incorporate that value function directly into their ranking metric on Uber's ride matching algorithm. That's when the app decides when to send a ride to. It's not just asking who's closest right now, it's weighing what tends to happen after drivers end up in that spot, at that time, and doing what you're doing. That's the algorithm learning from behavior and feeding it straight back into who gets matched, running constantly, recalculating off of every single trip. And this isn't just Uber's own claim either. Independent researchers at Oxford found Uber's pricing model already personalized what it charges and pays based on individual patterns, not just area-wide supply and demand. That lines up with what Uber's own engineers already told us. The platform treats you as an individual, not as a category. What's actually feeding that model? Start with what Uber confirms directly. They track your acceptance and cancellation rate on a recalculated rolling window on your recent ride requests. Not some flat monthly average sitting there still in the background. And that's not a theory, that's straight from their own driver help center. Now, layer in what that value function is built from. Completed trips and idle time. And it's tied to your location and time of day. Uber hasn't published line by line every list of input. They're not handing drivers a manual on how to beat their own system. But based on what they have confirmed, a pattern like always declining short airport runs or always taking long trips toward the highway and skipping the quick ones downtown, that becomes data. It's not you being tracked as a category of driver, it's your specific trip history feeding a model that's trying to predict what you'll do next and adjusting your matches around that prediction. And that's the real answer to why cherry picking doesn't hit like it used to. It's not that Uber banned it or built some rule against it. It's that the exact behavior used to try to game the system is the input the system is learning from. Here's the piece that actually breaks down cherry picking, and it's simpler than people make it sound. Uber's own engineering blog lays out how matching actually works on the back end. Their recommendation system scores a batch of potential drivers for every single ride request, not just one. Then it runs a matching algorithm to lock in the final pairing. So before your app even lights up with an offer, Uber already looked at a small group of drivers who could take that ride and pick the best fit out of that group. So you were never the only option being considered. So when you decline a ride, you're not opening up a gap in the market. The system already had a backup candidate scored in that same round before you even said no. Somebody else in that batch, maybe somebody in a worse spot, maybe somebody who's been sitting idle longer, or whatever that model weighs higher for that specific moment, was probably going to get it anyway, even if you hadn't taken it first. And that changes what declining actually cost you. It's not the ride. That gets filled either way almost every time. It's what your decline adds to your own trip history. You're just feeding that model another data point that shapes what it offers you tomorrow. And this is why a hack that you learned from a video a year ago doesn't hit the same anymore. Say the old move was sit near an arena after a concert. Only take rides going towards the highway and decline everything short. A year ago, that worked because dispatch was dumb enough to keep sending you options until you found one you liked. And it wasn't reading the pattern behind what you were doing. And now that exact behavior, declining short rides in that spot over and over, becomes a signature in your trip history. The algorithm doesn't need to understand your strategy. It just needs to see a pattern stacking up and respond to it. And Uber's own engineers say that matching model gets periodically retrained. A new version of that value function gets built off a fresh batch of trip and behavior data. So even if nothing about your driving changes, the model scoring you does. So once enough drivers in a market are running the same play, Uber doesn't have to patch anything by hand. Their retrained model does it automatically. And your matches quietly shift and you start seeing worse offers and there's no announcement, no update, and you just don't know why. And that's the actual mechanism behind why researchers keep finding Uber's system boosts company margins while driver pay shifts down over time. A second study this year found that the same opaque pricing patterns, systematically squeezing more out of both sides of the market the longer it runs. It's not static. It's a system that's supposed to keep closing gaps, and your hack is a gap. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If you spend your time hunting the next trick, the new hotspot, the new decline pattern, and the new way to beat the matching algorithm, you're playing a game that's specifically designed to detect and close at exactly that behavior on a constantly recalculated profile. You might get a good 2 or 3 weeks out of a new hack, maybe a month if you're lucky and nobody else finds it first. Then it's gone and you're back to hunting again. That's not a strategy. That's a treadmill. And the treadmill is the business model. It keeps you working the standard market inside the standard competition, forever optimizing something that resets on you by design. And the one thing that doesn't get patched is which part of the business you're operating in. Standard Uber and Lyft still puts you in the same pool with thousands of other drivers, all fighting the same behavioral algorithm and all searching for the same expiring tricks. Uber Black and Lyft Black and private black car dispatch on top of that is a different pool entirely. Fewer qualified drivers because of the commercial insurance and permitting requirements, a higher pay floor by default, and clients who book you directly instead of an app auction you off to the lowest bidder. You're not trying to outguess a machine that's built to outguess you back. You're just not standing in the line it's designed to sort. So the next time somebody hands you a hot new hack, understand what you're actually holding. A temporary exploit with a countdown timer on it. Because the algorithm's entire job is learn you and shut it down. Chasing tricks inside a standard market is chasing something that's built to expire. Moving up is the only fix that doesn't come with an expiration date. So remember, drive better, drive smarter, and drive without the frustrations.